Hi,
Dior.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you? First, can we talk about the hair? I love the hair going.
First of all, you look super cute. You look gorgeous.
Thank you so much. Okay, so can we just hop right into it? Because Stunna Dior, I want to know, where does this name come from?
So basically, I got my name over 10 years ago. Like when I was in high school, middle school, I always just was like super flashy. So they used to always like, why you always got a stunt on them? And that just became Stunna. And like, I felt like I needed to add a flair, a little extra razzle dazzle to it. And I added Dior, and that's been my name ever since. That's all she wrote.
I love that, and you just kind of like ran with that because when I think of like Stunna Dior, I think of like classy, and you're just like you stunting on them. You out here stunting on them. So I love that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, so like, what's your ethnicity and like where are you from?
So I was originally born in Michigan, and I moved to Arizona when I was turning like 13. So I went to like high school and everything, and the middle school out there before I moved to New York. So I'm like from all, I consider myself, at least, I consider myself all American because I'm from all over. I got a taste of the East Coast, a taste of the West Coast in me, the Midwest. And they all have like super strong influences. So I kind of consider myself like all American. I'm American, but my family, we have roots obviously and origins in Africa. So I do spend a lot of time going back and forth and connecting.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love that. And I love how like you're so diverse too. I'm pretty sure that comes like out in your music as well. And that like leads me to my next question. What would you say like sets you apart from other creatives now in the industry?
I feel like one of the things that sets me apart of a lot of other creatives, well, I think there's a few things to be honest, but I feel like one is that I really take pride in like actually knowing about what I do, like, and having a lot of information and knowing the inside and out. So when I first started modeling, in addition to learning my angles and like reading modeling books and just being like best that I could be, I learned about the camera side and learning about, the photography and lighting and different settings like that, because that always helps with your craft. And that kind of helped me get into fashion because, as if you're a model, you have to have like there's little small things. You're supposed to come with like a model bag and be prepared for every shoot. I always was like super over prepared, and that got me a lot of like extra opportunities. And the more information that I gained, the more I was really quick to apply it. So it's like after I tapped into modeling and learning about fashion, I worked with every brand from big brands like Black Pyramid, Adidas, Kicks USA to like small businesses that no one knows. And just being on the inside of it, I learned a lot of information about like the fashion industry and how people work with their models or their marketing
Yeah.
campaigns, and that just inspired me to launch my own brand and to also be a creative director. So after I launched my own brand, then I just tapped into like styling my models, creative directing. I always do all my own makeup and my hair for like pretty much majority of every video and photo shoot. I do all my own makeup and all my hair. So then I did all my models makeup and all my models hair. So I think that's like something that really sets me apart, is just that if I'm learning something and I really like it, I'm gonna dig deep and learn all I can know about it, and then I'm gonna try to like basically take that little opportunity and maximize it. Whatever opportunity or whatever I learn, I'm gonna get into it. I started DJing because I love music, and I was like, you know what? If I can DJ, then I can go to parties and I can play my own music. That was like my science behind it, and I was like, yeah, okay, let me get into that. And I learned how to DJ. I DJed one of my first gigs in Africa. So just like anything that I like to do, I just try to maximize it a lot. And I think that's one of the big things that separate me apart from a lot of other people and like my peers and stuff in the industry. But I
Mm-hmm.
also think my personality, because like I have a lot of information, but I love to have fun.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not like a stiffler or like acting like a know-it-all. Most people, if you know most people, I feel like they don't know both sides of me, because you're either on my business side and you know my business side, or you hang out with me in my personal life and you just know the fun side of me. Like most people don't get to see the both the sides, but I believe in like the art of balance.
I
I do like that.
mm. And I think that that's what sets you apart. Like you were saying, you maximize each opportunity, and I think that's great because having that prior background, like being a model, being in the entertainment industry, and then now becoming your own artist, you know so much like the ends and the backs of it, where you can like progress and you know what you want out of it, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. I love that you're so diverse. And I have another question for you too. When it comes to like you creating and like your creative process, how would you describe that? Like, how does that work for Stunna Dior?
Um, like you have like my creative process in which
Yeah,
specific
how
field?
do you get into your zone, or like, you know, creating music, or it could be even when it comes to like your fashion, like styling your own brand. I know you have your own brand, Vulgar, right? Did I pronounce it right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, how
Yeah.
does that come to play?
Oh look, vulgar robes coming soon.
You caught me.
um,
Oh, hold on. Let me cop me one. I need one of those. Those are cute.
yeah, love it. And the robe is attached to it, so it doesn't like slip through the loops. It's just automatically there. It's attached in the
Oh,
back.
that's perfect.
That's
Yeah.
the game right there, so you don't lose your string. Um, but to answer your question, I think my creative, like, it doesn't really take me a lot to get into my zone. I love what I do. Like, I really love it. And I think that my zone is who I am. Anybody that know me in personal life, like, I'm always ready for the photo. I'm always just like super extra. So my zone is just like me. And I don't have a specific creative process. When it's time for me to get, I think the creative process for me is just pressure. When it's time for me to perform, I just perform, you know, and I don't really have to think about it too much. It's just lights, camera, action.
You're like, you're ready all the time. So back to like your brand, Vulgar. What inspires you, like the style? Like, would you say the style kind of comes from like your hometown, like Detroit, Michigan, like your upbringing, and you kind of like have that through your brand, or like, do you think it changed over time, like you becoming an artist and being a model in like the entertainment industry, you kind of explored like different styles?
Yeah, I think that my brand is all of that. My brand Vulgar is a lifestyle brand. So I think it's not just to represent, you know, me or where I'm from, but I think it's to represent a lot of people that are like me and are from different places and, you know, have different sense of style and fashion. It's like styling the rebel and your inner rebel. That's my slogan for the brand, styling your inner rebel. So it's just like any piece that I feel like is dope. I have stuff from streetwear to chest camo packs to like upscale dresses. And I feel like everything is just super duper bright and extra. Like that's the inner me of it. If it's when I go and I hand pick out my fabrics, I'm normally drawn to fabrics that are like that stand out, you know? And then I pick designs kind of based off of that. And I think as far as the entertainment industry, I feel like it does influence, actually. It influences my brand because I felt like at the time there wasn't a lot of affordable clothes for like artists to wear in their music videos or to like go out and actually look like an artist. A lot of times when you meet an artist on the up and coming days, like they kind of look like shit, you know? So it's like, you could tell like, all right, as soon as they just need a little extra help. And so my brand was just like, okay, I feel like if I have a brand, all of these other people that I know that do music or model or whatever they do, now I can be able to help style them, or I can have clothes for a brand that they could be able to hit up. Like, you know, they'll have something I need for my release party or for this or that, because all the pieces are just super extra. And it was inspired by having it for me to always be able to get dressed and like go out to different events, you know, but still don't want to wear like the same stuff that everybody else is wearing. You don't want to have on like the same dress, or you still want to stand out, but you don't want to spend $1 million. So that was like a major inspiration for my brand as well, and making sure that pricing is affordable and achievable for people.
And you still be looking like a bag full of money, you know? If you look the part, you feel the part.
Exactly.
You got the part, basically. I love that. No, for sure. Going into the next question, what inspired you with your what inspired you to create your new single, Twirl It? I love it. I was listening to it yesterday and I'm like, okay, I feel upbeat. Like I feel like a boss when I listen to it, you know?
Yes.
What inspired you to create that single, and what's kind of like the concept behind it?
So I was just inspired by being in the drill scene for real. Since I did all of the videos with Fabio Foreign and Pop Smoke, and I was just in a lot of major drill videos throughout the market, and I was like, you know, it makes the most sense that if I'm going to put out music right now, let me put out some type of music that is like, you know, a part of the sound. It represents what we're doing right now, and I really like fact that it spoke to like New York for me, you know, like I feel like New York has adopted me since I moved here at 18. It just accepted me so easily and I fit in so perfect that I felt like, all right, if I'm putting some song on, let me put out some appreciation because New York has a new sound. It's been years since New York has had a sound and it's taken over like a super, super duper viral like craze all around the world, you know. And I was in Africa and everybody's dancing to Pop Smoke and stuff like that. That really inspired me to hear like a new sound from New York. So I just felt like I had to add my little 2 cents in there, and that's where Toilet came. And I felt like there wasn't really any girls that was doing a lot of drill dance music at the time. So I was like, okay, let me make a drill dance song, you know, that everybody can kind of vibe to, where I could still deliver bars but still have a fun sound to it.
Yeah, and that's what I like too, because like you said, it still has like that sound, but your sound is unique where it sounds different and it still sets apart, but you still have like that New York kind of like flair to it. I love
Yeah.
it. Um,
Yeah, because my single, I don't get my next single has a total different sound. So it's not
just like a
real.
little like hint, like sneak peek on like what it's gonna be like, a little concept.
I'll say that the song is called Lit Rich. It
Ooh.
kind of has like a West Coast vibe to it, or I guess a Midwest vibe to it. It has a different vibe though.
Okay, I like that. All right. In the future, what would be an artist you would love to like collab with?
So people always ask me this, and I always say the same thing. Like, obviously, I would love to collab with a lot of different artists that are like lit right now and up and coming. But if I had my pick, I would choose somebody like Jay-Z or Kanye West, just because I really look up to like business, you know, and I consider myself like a business person first before I consider myself an artist, because amongst all of the different things that I do, I'm really good at getting opportunities and getting opportunities from like different business deals and, you know, bargaining and stuff. So I feel like Jay-Z, he has a lot of knowledge, and of course, like, in addition to him just being one of my favorite rappers, he has a lot of knowledge and he does so much in the business world that it would be really beneficial if I could just be around him and either come up with some music, or he could help me with some contracts, some deals, some partnerships or something like that. I'm just looking at the bigger picture. So I say that, or I say like Kanye West, because in addition to him being a great producer, he also is involved in fashion. I love fashion. So I just figured out.
That's awesome. I love that too, because like you said, it like helps you like branch out, since you are, you know, an entrepreneur and you're a brand, you know, you own your brand and you're an owner, like it's good for you to have that experience. And that goes into my next question, like coming from like Detroit and then going to Arizona and now residing in New York, what would be like some major cultural differences you noticed or actually influenced your industry in becoming an artist?
Um, I feel like, okay, for one, growing up in Detroit, I went to a lot of performing arts schools. So the famous Winans family, I went to their school. I also went to a school called DSA, which is Detroit Academy of Performing Arts and Sciences. That's the same school that Aaliyah went to. So for me, like, artistry and growing up in Detroit, that's a part of like the roots of it. You know, there's Motown. Like, music is really strong and prevalent in, like, I feel like in Detroit's environment. And a lot of people don't know because they don't really visit there or not engulfed in it, but that is like all about your style and your fashion sense when you live there. Like, you know what I mean? They want you to be fly. It's kind of similar to New York in those sense of ways. Like, New York is very strong on their music sense and also their fashion sense and their culture. And I feel like those two things are what made it easy for me to be able to thrive. My upbringing in Detroit and being able to be around everything and just like, you know, I always played instruments. I always, like, I was a dancer from young. I started to dance classes from 5 years old. So I was always a performer my whole entire life. And that's all I know. I remember rapping from when I was 5. I have rap books from when I was 9, because that was just the norm. Like, all the guys on the porch rapping with my uncles, my friends, like, you know, all the local rappers. Like, my family was really cool back then. So I knew a lot of people. That was the thing. And then, like, the culture shock was moving to Arizona, where they don't have a lot of people. There's not a lot of artists from there. They don't have like a major, you know, like cultural impact as far as like music wise and different things like that. And for me, it was a challenge living there, because I was always involved, being that I was always involved in dance or something, performing arts, I didn't have that same type of outlet. It was, but it wasn't the same. So I was involved in like theater and stuff there, but it didn't have like it wasn't like anything cultural. It wasn't anything like, oh, so unique or anything like that. So for me, I had to kind of keep the vision alive for what I wanted to do and what I grew up doing. And that led me to being like, I was on Twitter. I was internet famous at like 15. I think I had my first like 25,000 followers on Twitter and stuff. So, and I was just tapped into New York market the whole time. I swear I never visited New York, but I was just so obsessed with the whole entire market. So I was just like, you know, tapping in and trying to make friends wherever I could to like set up a foundation for when I moved here. And I think that was like one of the most major culture shocks because there's predominantly like Hispanic market, and coming from where there's all Black people, the vibe is just different. You know, they got cholas out there, they like to wear Dickies and stuff. And I'm coming from somewhere where they like Cartiers, buffs, all types of different stuff, you know, and fur coats, and to go in there with Vans and Chucks is like, it's totally different. I stood out and everybody knew I stood out. I was like outcast. They were like, yo, what was she wearing? What's she doing? Like, I was just so different from them, you know? But I kept the vision alive through basically just like admiring New York. And I think that, you know, when I transitioned and moving here, it was just super easy because I was from having that upbringing in Detroit and being around the grit and the roughness, that I was easily able to handle everything that was going on here and not get caught up in the wrong areas of things.
No, I think that's awesome too. And to, even though you did stand out, you still like paved your own way throughout the whole time. What would be like some advice you would have for upcoming artists transitioning from becoming a dancer, or you know, having prior like instrument experiences, or wanting to just transition to just becoming like a creative artist all around? Like, what would be the most motivational or like inspiring thing you could say to somebody to like keep going?
I feel like if you're anything in the artistry field or in the creative field, like for one to always continue to do what you do and be like open minded and evolving, you know, because things change. And for me, one of the things I noticed is when people, they fail to like evolve and change and like learn the new ways or new techniques of things or even experiment, sometimes they block themselves off to like blessings or other opportunities because they're so like one track mind on like, oh, I'm gonna do this and this, you know, like you never know. I feel like sometimes the universe will show you signs of like ways that you're gifted or like what some other strengths that you have, to like take those strengths that you have and to run with those as well, because it's going to unlock new doors. You know, for me, I thought I was going to do Broadway, and I did acting when I first moved to New York. That's what I thought I was going to do, Broadway. I went to school for business, and then I ended up, I went to school for business, and then I ended up modeling. And through modeling, I thought that I was going to be able to start music and stuff right away, but it took me like 10 years before I finally just launched my first song. But I was just going along with what the strengths were and using my resources to kind of like still get to my end goal. But, you know, I let the opportunities open up. So I would just tell people to just like, you know, don't be afraid to try new things and continue to do what you're doing and just be the best at your craft that you can be. But definitely be open to new ideas and to working with new people and just creating, because you never know what that thing is that's going to take you to the next level.
Yeah, exactly. And too, it's like you said, it's like sometimes you have to have those 10 years of experiencing and branching off to different areas where that 1 year just changes your whole life, and then it excels your career to the next level. And that brings me to the next question. What would be like some memorable moments you had within modeling, being on TV, creating your own brand that were just very memorable to you, and like how did you feel in that moment?
I have so many memorable moments. I really do. Like, I love honesty. I keep saying this, but I love what I do. So it's just like, you know, right now I'm touring. I'm going on my 5th tour. So this is like a new experience to me, going state to state, meeting new people, the scheduling. Like I love that, or just the experience of being able to meet different artists and celebrities and having like really dope moments, like with Meg when I was Meg's body double and the BITCH video. You know, when I first met her, she seen me before I seen her, And she was like, oh my God, hey, friend, like, it's me. Like, she was just like her personality. I meet a lot of people, but a lot of times your personality is not the same. But her personality is just like the personality that you see on TV. And then, like, being able to just ride in the Rolls Royce, and I was just driving her, and she's just standing up, twerking in the back seat, and we're just driving through Brooklyn, you know, with the cameras following us and stuff. That was like super fun for me, and I found out we have a lot of things in common. You know, like our birthdays 3 days apart, and we have a lot of childs, and so like those memories are really cool to me, to like meet other people that love doing what you do, and to see them also being successful and to make super dope memories. You know, I love that. Or even I would say like different. When I was walking down the street, and the commercial that I did was on the billboard in Times Square, and I just happened to randomly be walking down the street at like 1 a.m. and I didn't live over there anymore. It was just like, oh, I'm gonna go to the car because I was parked, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna walk down this block, and I'm walking, and I see the end clip, and I say, hold on, wait, and I just like stop. I'm like, oh my God, I was in this. And then I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh my God, that's me. And I just kept, like, I was watching it. I was like, oh shit, like, they need to pay me some more. That's the first thing I thought. But then I was like, oh my God, I'm in Times Square, you know? Like, so those moments are super authentic because it's not like anyone told me that was going to be there. We didn't know that billboard was going to be that placement. That was just a really organic feeling of just being like, okay, seeing your hard work kind of pay off. You walk by and you see billboards all the time. Or for a person like me that didn't grow up seeing them, I moved here and I always imagine myself being on one. So then I walk past and see myself on one. Then, you know, that's like a super dope feeling as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that so much. I couldn't imagine how that would feel. And then my last question for you, do you have any plans for All Star Weekend?
Yes, I do. I have too many plans for All Star Weekend. I have like 4 to 5 performances lined up throughout Atlanta. I know I have like a ton of interviews, and then I'm hitting all of these parties. I'm hitting all of them. Like, so I don't know when I'm going to sleep because I just got back from Puerto Rico like 2 days ago, and I've been celebrating my birthday, and it's like 10 days ago. So I've been celebrating my birthday for the past week and a half, and you know, and now we about to roll into All-Star Weekend. Tomorrow I have a major video shoot with Dave East and Mary J. Blige. So I'm excited for that as well. Cause yes, Mary, like iconic right there, you know? And I'm just really excited because in my career, I just did the video with Method Man and Noriega and Conway, and I have Mary, and you know, like the iconic people and people that I grew up listening to and watching, are they getting closer and closer and closer. So I'm just loving it and taking it all in. But it seems like a long time coming. Like I feel like I'm like 100 years old and I just turned 25. So
you is still young, and I'm pretty sure like that happening for you, that inspires you more to keep going and keep pushing. Like you're doing great, you're doing awesome. And then I would just ask, like, what's the best platforms we can follow you and stay tuned on everything you're doing?
okay, so if you guys want to follow me, it's your girl Stunna Dior, the big stunner, the big boss. You already know. I got that. First of all, I got that song "Twirl It." It's out on all streaming platforms right now, so you can tap in and go and get that. As well as if you have an Apple or a Roku or Verizon remote, please pick that remote up and go and subscribe to my channel, my streaming service, SDTV, Stunna Dior TV. It's free to subscribe, so get that on your TV ASAP. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at The Real Stunna Dior. And if you need to follow me anywhere, you can just get on Google and I'm going to pop right up. Boom.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Stunna Dior, with us today. I'm so glad I got to talk to you and you took your time out of your day. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciates you. And yeah, I wish
Thank
you all
I
the
look
success.
crazy. Give you the super glam interview, but we can do it again. This is my day off, and it's my only day off. And so you get like the chill Stunna, but we can do a glammed up one, part two, and we can chat even more.
Definitely, we need all Stunnas, okay? And I need that Stunna robe.
Period. Got you. I'm gonna send you one.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, girl. I appreciate it. You look amazing. Have fun at All Star Weekend.
Thank you. Bye.